Alright, we are here at Das German, Newtown Square chapter, and Q is about to get here, and in the turbo, and this is interesting. It's kind of mixed feelings, because it's such a good car, and I'm sad to see it go, but at the same time, super excited for him, and yeah, super excited that I got to, hand it off to someone I know is gonna love it and appreciate it and take care of it. It took a long time to find that car, and I spent a lot of time, making sure it was always tucked in at night and the paint was always good and it got driven often enough to make sure the seals never got dry and cracked and stuff. So yeah, but I'm super excited, and I am looking forward to seeing it. It's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be strange because I still kind of feel like it's my car. So, but when I see him driving it, I think at that point it'll sink in, and I'll kind of mentally. Ooh, maybe I hear it. I think I hear it. I think I hear it. It's been a long time. Oh yeah. The noise. It sounds quite quiet, actually.
Dude, I'm late to my own funeral.
Yo, she sounds kind of quiet. You keeping it on the down low?
Yeah, dude, I was like driving through a neighborhood. I was like, let's not kill him. Dude, my phone died, and I literally drove like 17 miles past here. You know where that lake is?
Yeah.
There's like a massive lake. I drove like around this lake. I'm like, dude, this does not look familiar. So I like rushed to get my phone charged.
Dude, Q, you're in the fucking.
Dude,
you're in a 997 Turbo
My
that you
heart's still
own.
racing, dude. My
You
heart
own
is
this thing.
Yeah, thanks to you.
Dude, it's so sick. Yo, this car looks amazing. At night with the lights, holy moly. Dude, it sounds good. Man, it sounds good. It sounds kind of like it's behaving itself. Let's see what plate we're rocking. LKL.
Yeah, they gave me a lame license plate.
It's like, holy shit, I'm actually doing this.
It's definitely not a Cayman, that's for sure. That is.
I know, you feel the kind of the weight and it's like the heft of it, right?
It's wet. Yeah, it feels a lot more. It feels a lot more planted.
Yes.
You know, because you get the wheel specs are completely different.
You got those. You feel the rear is just so fat.
So much fatter.
Yeah.
Because the Cayman, I think, with the Cayman factory for what the 987 was, maybe a 9-inch wide wheel, if that. In the rear. I could be wrong. I'm sure again, somebody's gonna quote me. But no, it's like it has a very, and it's not even in the steering wheel. Like the steering wheel still feels like, standard German.
Yeah.
It's got that bit of, I don't know how to explain it, like weight to it, where it's not like, a Japanese car where you're like power steering is just super overpowering.
Oof.
It's definitely the,
Oh, sorry, I was going to direct you. Yeah, you go up here, make a right at the stop sign.
but yeah, the weight of the actual vehicle, and it's not like a bad type of weight where like, oh my god, the car weighs like 60, like driving a Lexus SC300. I mean, that's the closest thing you can get to is like a boat out of water.
No, this is more like right here. Yeah, this is more like just solid. Like you just like. I remember I would get into this car and I'd be like, oh man, this thing is so freaking just solid. Like it's so planted. Like it's so composed. It just it's so well built. Just like it was just built right.
Absolutely, and that's the one thing that catches your attention. And it doesn't, believe it or not, and that's like the one thing that I was super surprised with. Even being in the passenger seat of the GT3, that car feels just so much more agile, almost like.
Yeah, like all those little like bump stick hits and the toe and
changes
everything.
Completely changes everything so much more.
It's also nice not to have the diff in the front. You have this, kind of
6,000
getting in the way. Yeah.
Still up front, and then the driving position is fucking awesome.
And go left here.
Yep.
Yeah, driving position's fantastic. The seats like hold you. You know? And you're a tall dude, and this is what's great about this, because like these cars were built for like tall Germans, you know.
Oh,
so it
yeah.
like fits you perfectly.
Yeah, the only thing that's weird, I'm still trying to kind of get like used to, is like this actual steering wheel distance. That's the only thing that kind of is weird about them, is the steering wheel seems, because I'm so tall, the steering wheel is so far away from like my physical body. Like
it does telescope, doesn't it?
It does maxed out.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, because it's a problem that I had with the Cayman, and all of them just feel like. That's what I was saying about your car. I was like, you know, remember that was like one of the things I said. I was like, it's awesome how they have the quick release, because it puts the steering wheel in a very proper spot.
Yeah, it comes out a lot more. Yeah.
Yep. So you have more of a natural feeling in your arms, as opposed to like be driving like video game style, which is definitely a plus. Love the cluster on this car. It's like the one thing that like sells you on it. And I don't know if you ever noticed, like if you're driving, and even if it's like not totally dark outside, it like kicks back and forth.
Yes.
Like I was like, whoa, what? And I was driving.
It's very cool that way.
Why is the cluster still like dark? And then I went like under a tunnel, and I was like, oh my god, it's so cool. This is like Deer Central back here.
Yeah, we'll be off this pretty soon, but it's good enough traffic where deers generally don't chill on this road. Yeah. So I call that one corner, that right-hander, Watkins corner, because it's got so much banking in it.
Yeah.
It's like just like a Watkins corner.
I didn't see. When I came here earlier today, I came through this way, but when I came here today, I came the opposite way.
Okay.
Straight.
Yeah, straight. You're just gonna keep going straight until you can't go straight anymore. I know the first gear, like it doesn't want to go in if you're
Dead
moving.
stop. Yeah.
It's just like a lockout, like the GT3.
It's definitely not a happy for first, which is good. It kind of sucks because the car like hates like any rolling speed in this car. Like second gear is useless unless you're actually like moving. Second gear is as good as gone because the car's like. It's a very, I don't know. It smiles. It's the giggle box.
I love there's a little fox, yeah. I love the shifter in this car though, like the transmission, like the gatedness of it. It's got a nice weight to it, and it's so satisfying when it engages in gear, like it kind of just clicks in there.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And that's the factory short shifter.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Because I was like, why is it? Because it's almost like like it has a weight to it where it throws in really nicely.
Yes, that was the option from the factory.
Oh
So
shit!
it's nice.
No idea that was an option.
It was interesting when I bought the car. So I bought the car, and then probably 4 weeks later, I was just driving, and I lost all the forward gears, so I couldn't get into first, third, or fifth, and when the cables had snapped. So that was the first thing I dumped. Like in the first month I had it, I dumped 1,500 at the dealership, and they replaced the cables. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a terrifying feeling. Right
So
there.
they should all be good for a while.
Hell yeah. Yeah, the only thing that's probably gonna shift knob. That's the one thing.
Yeah, sorry. The thing, if the
I
front of
saw it already,
yeah.
and I was like, I mean, the factory shift knob is it's almost tacky feeling.
I know, because it's plastic.
Yeah.
It's like you really want that billet. That billet one is so nice.
Oh yeah. Or even the one you have, the suede one.
Yep.
Oh, that thing is absolutely awesome. The suede one is the go-to.
The billet aluminium one they make, like I looked at it because as soon as this one kind of that piece of plastic came off, I was like, shit, I should get a new one. So I looked into it, and they're like 1,600, and I was like, oh man, I don't know if I can drop 1,600 on a shift knob.
Oh, was a shift knob for $1,600?
Yeah, the knob, just the knob.
How does that happen? Somebody.
Because if you want to replace this, just replace it. It's I think it's like $550 just to replace the knob. Yeah, because you have to buy the boot as well.
No, you can get them off.
Really?
They're hard as shit. You have to.
But I don't know if you can buy the knob on its own.
Yeah, see, that's something you probably have to outsource from, like, you know, I know for some, I think, see, I don't know, I really don't know, because I know if this shift knob, literally the instructions to take it off. This isn't a stop sign. Right?
No.
The instructions to take this physical shift knob off, and this was told to me by Alan, his kid Alan's dad, who's like a head tech at Porsche. He says, I like to sit here, grab onto it, just pull as hard as you possibly can, just like BMW.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, no, I don't know if I would ever venture into doing that.
Have you redlined it yet?
No, not yet. trying to figure out a day and time. You're definitely going to be in the car, though. It's definitely going to get a nerve.
That's like, because I would be the same. Like I would drive on the street and I would maybe go like 20% throttle, just because once you go past that, you're just going so freaking fast.
Yeah, you're flying.
You're flying. But there's a when you ever get, that moment where you have 2 miles ahead of you, it's clean, and you do go full and you just click like all the way to 6,000 or 6,300. Man, the exhaust, like it makes such a that 6 to 64 is such a different noise. It's so cool. It just screams like that Mezger scream.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's definitely, and it's crazy how so different the cars are, like which way, right?
Oh right.
How different the GT car is in reference to this, like the naturally aspirated. That's why I just like definitely can dig the turbo sound. Love the turbo sound.
The smell in here too. You notice the smell?
It's the what? Are you talking interior smell or turbo smell?
Interior smell. The turbo smell, but then interior smell too. Like I love that.
It's the leather
that
smell.
Leather, yeah. It's like, oh man, it always when I'd leave the car at the garage, it would just fill the garage with that smell. It's so nice. You'd open the door, it just like smell like Porsche.
A very rich scent. This exit?
Yeah. Then you wanna go just go north. Fixed it. It was bumpy here, but now it's super smooth. That's nice. And then go left. So hit 476 north.
Straight or left?
Left. You're gonna do a left at these lights.
Yeah, dude. I have no idea where I am at all.
Yeah, man. This is my hood.
It's very nice. I like it a lot. It's very peaceful and woody. Wooded areas are definitely, and it's crazy when I was driving, I was like, man, these cars literally belong up here.
Yes.
Like it's just very, it's very built for up here where you got really weird random off side roads and stuff like that, which is awesome. It's definitely awesome. And it's so subtle. It's just like, I don't know, it's like a little sheep in the woods, you know? Cup holder is definitely never going to get used.
Nope, no sir. Don't touch them. Don't even come close to them. Don't think about it.
Leave him alone.
Leave him alone. Any passenger that gets in, don't touch the cup holder. You can do anything you want, just don't touch the cup holder. And then, yeah, just go straight. Then you can beat this guy.
It's fucked up here, and I don't want to like dive off a diving board into a landmine.
Pressure you're putting on the trans at that point, you know, and like the clutch,
right?
You know, to be able to hold that torque more than anything.
Yeah, I mean the factory clutch is, you know, it's always a replaceable item. These transes, though, man, believe it or not, these transes are pretty brawling. They'll take a good bit of beating. I don't know much about the differential, like front diff and stuff. Who was talking about the LSD, the factory Porsche LSD, making you lane change?
Oh yeah. That's I think maybe we read that. Oh no, we watched a video. Yeah, we watched.
Tim was talking. DBI.
Yeah. Yeah, because the factory LSDs are known to be super strong.
Yeah, not super strong, and then like how it actually works in its effect, like how it actually catches up and actually makes both wheels grip. I'm sure it's like any other JDM car LSD.
He did the alignment as well too, so things tracking like freaking shoes.
Yep. Yeah. No, I'm gonna do the rear a bit more because it's like for some reason it just it's out, but I feel like I can get a little bit more out of the rear and actually apply some to the front. I'll try and help it a little bit. And it's crazy how light the front end like feels on these cars.
Yeah.
It feels like there's nothing there.
I know, it does.
Fucking gas tank, differential, all-wheel drive control, axles, like all this weight up front. It just feels like very.
I know, it hides it so well.
Yeah, very light. Like the rear. I mean, obviously, engine being back to the rear is just like.
Yeah, it feels like it's never gonna leave the road. You know, it's just gonna stay so sucked onto it. Yeah, the only time I felt like, oh man, I'm starting to feel the weight of this car was when I was in a tight turn at the track. Like that's really it. Like you have to be pushing it at that limit to start to feel it. Otherwise you really, it's just so engineered so well that you can't. It's imperceptible.
It's still very. I'm still like amazed and shocked. I'm like, dude, I'm really looking at this cluster right now. Like,
I know. And the best part, it has that in the daytime. It's got that turbo in the middle. It's like shit. Yes.
I'm like beyond satisfied. Absolutely beyond satisfied.
Well, here we are. We're saying goodbye, in a way, to the 997. But it's more.
The key's always hung up on the board whenever you need it. The key is always there.
But it's like, I said it earlier because I made a little like bit of videos like how, because I didn't know how it would feel, you know, like for this moment. Because I went before you
seemed a little sad.
Before you got to the house. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be like so sad. You know, because.
Oh, there you go.
Little snap crackle.
There you go, a little M6.
I think he came there just for us. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be sad to. You know, it's gonna be sad to see anybody else driving it. You know, it's gonna be sad, or it's gonna be sad to know that I don't own it anymore. But now I'm just like excited. Like I'm so pumped.
We're always welcome to drive it, man.
But I'm so pumped because it's such a good car. Like I couldn't have asked it to go to anyone better. Like it's just so great. Like I'm so glad you have it.
And at least you didn't like sell it to somebody who's just like, yeah, you know,
it's gonna sit in a
nice little garage ornament,
exactly.
You know, where it's actually gonna get driven
and like I'm not gonna know what happens to it later. Whereas now, like I'm gonna be able to follow the journey.
The whole journey.
You know, I'm be able to follow the journey, whatever happens.
Try and get it out on the track, chase you down.
No, man, bring it on.
Come for you. Half the grip, twice the weight. You know
Man, this interior is just so dope. So dope. So clean. These sports seats are great. Nice little turbo on the armrest. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I didn't even tell you. I got into the car. I never noticed the turbo on the armrest.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, how the fuck did I fuck this armrest up already? And I'm like feeling it. I'm like, damn, man. Like, I literally already fucked something up. And I'm looking at it. I was like, oh shit. There's turbo on the armrest.
It's supposed to be there.
Yeah. I was like, oh, all right, good.
Man. And we got fresh inspection on there.
Yeah, no riding dirty.
621, dude.
You got some time.
You got some time on it. Yeah. Paint's in good shape. There are some swirl marks, but
dude, that's like the least.
But you can feel like it's still the least because I waxed it,
figure out
you know.
How to wash the fucking thing. I was thinking foam gun, leaf blower. Because I'm like the worst with washing cars.
Yeah, the paint's good. It's so smooth.
And keep in mind, it's covered in dust from, being in shop, being under a car cover, starting up, taking the car cover off of it, starting it up, it shaking all the walls in the shop, knocking any bit of dust off of any shelf that it can onto it, and then back under a car cover. So it definitely, I definitely got to figure out how to wash it. Which is like such a rookie thing. Like, how do you not know how to wash your car? It's like. And there's like a nice big old hand smudge right here. I don't even know how the fuck I got that there, but a little leaning.
Yeah, such a, you nailed it when we were at the play. Like Legends Never Die, man. Like it's such an icon. It's such an iconic car. It's so cool.
It's timeless. It's something that'll never our buddy with well, you haven't met him yet, but you're gonna meet him because he's gonna be like knocking at your door to like meet you. But he had deleted this.
Right. Yeah, you sent me the picture. It looks weird.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it to him because I was like, oh, dude, yeah, look.
It seems like something you're like, yeah, that would be a good idea, and then you just do it, and it's like, not a good idea.
Just cut up a 997 and bump.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, now we're stuck with it. Yeah, so jokes on everyone. I didn't get it. Yeah, I'm a pretty tall person.
Yeah,
I can't even see it with the steering wheel. Oh man. And I feel like it's miles in this thing. There we go.
Yep,
Standard
classic.
issue, classic. Don't worry, it's never gonna get fixed. And it's so bizarre how it just does it. Once you turn it off, it does it, and then it literally doesn't do it again until you, like, if you start it again, it won't do it.
Yeah.
And then it'll come back once you turn it back off again. Which we have the replacement part.
It's sitting there.
It's sitting there.
Yeah, this thing, it's been dialed, All
See, like, that's what I'm saying. The only vibration you feel is now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you have to be like sitting completely still and really thinking about it.
Yeah, gauge cluster's so nice.
And we're off.
I love how deliberate you have to be with the shifter. Like, you have to be deliberate. It's like, yeah, I'm shifting into reverse. Like
We're
going into first, and then it rewards you for that deliberate action.
Oh, nice little restaurant here.
I can't forget how nice and heavy the steering is.
Okay, so does the GT3 feel like that?
You know what? I haven't had enough experience to. I haven't driven it enough to
You
say.
got to take it out this weekend.
Yeah.
Even for a stroll, cause do you have work tomorrow?
Yeah, just a little bit. And then I'll swing by the shop in the afternoon. One thing I always liked was the shift, the switches too. The
Stalks, yeah.
Stalks, man, they click in a way that BMW don't. A little bit different.
Hopefully there's not a bunch of wind noise. It's like the hardest thing to battle, even driving like 3 miles an hour. Every single camera is just like. could tell you in the car. Really don't care for the radio. Like it's not really something that you're like, oh yeah, I need to make sure it has a good radio.
And with this exhaust too, the sound becomes such a big part of the experience.
Oh yeah,
because you're just hearing everything.
Absolutely, yeah. It makes you want to just, you don't even care the fact that it doesn't have an aux wire or USB or Bluetooth for music.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it feels crisper, man. Like there's a couple of things I noticed. First of all, the alignment is a big difference from where it was. It could probably still get better, but
yeah, definitely.
It's man, it feels so planted, so good on the road. And then the trans. I think the mounts really help the shifting.
Yeah, everything's super planted.
Yeah, it's really, but it's so feels more precise that engagement than it did before.
Right.
Like things are more connected. Yeah, that's nice. Man, it feels so good.
And even driving, like you don't get that that mount where your dash is rattling, like you hear the fucking change in the change compartment. Like you don't get that feeling from these mounts, but you get all the positive parts of having a stiffer mount without the draws of it being like everything is rattling.
Yeah, noise, vibration, and harshness. Yeah, that NVH. Yeah, it really is. Like you feel like, wow, it really should have come from the factory just like this.
Oh yeah, the factory mounts. Like I was comparing next to each other. I was like, shit, these things are horrible.
Shifting's definitely better. I can't say exactly what, but it's definitely better. Different from an R8 where it's like it rewards you for really putting in the effort and like driving well, like it really does reward you in a way that an R8 just doesn't. Like
definitely not.
Just doesn't. And they're supposed to be like similar cars, but this is so much better. This is so much better.
I agree. Yeah, I mean I definitely. Well, I mean it's just not the objective, I feel like the objective for these cars are just like, fucking drive, as opposed to a lot of the other supercars are just like, we can go really fast, just don't ask me to make a right turn, or a left, or a U-turn. Based off of the last alignment specs to the factory alignment specs, they're just so far in between. And, trying to actually physically align the car where it's happy on the road and it's not like super dodgy because it has a ton of camber and it has a bit of caster. And trying to kind of figure out that happy median is definitely going to take a couple stops to actually get that perfect alignment.
Motor just feels so happy too.
Hell yeah.
Just so happy.
Just screams. What the fuck? This guy's getting it. The highways up here are way easier to kind of deal with. There's not really much spots for cops to hide, it doesn't seem like.
Yeah, and that little hill you get a good visual.
Yeah.
Because you would have seen him if
about this is doing the intakes on. Oh,
this guy.
You see that? Well, luckily it hit us with the rice lights. That'd have been sad.
That's the other thing you'll notice when you're driving, man. It inspires all kinds of freaking idiocy. All kinds of idiocy. The culprit I feel like is the worst offender. Guys in trucks, guys in these F-150s and stuff. All the time they're trying to cut me up or like speed past me. I don't get it. It's like you're in a truck. Like I don't know what the goal is, but
there's a turn at the end of it, and you are not prepared.
But yeah, you'll see all kinds of mayhem. Just like that. Just doing weird shit. Yeah, the connection with the trans, man, the shifting feels better. I can't say exactly why, but it just feels much more connected.
Hell yeah.
Because even downshifting there, I was like, oh man, I knew exactly. It was like click,
going right in,
yeah. And sometimes rev matching on this car can be tricky because like the flywheel's so fast, it's just whoa.
Yeah, I've noticed doing rev matches, like coming down from like 6th, 5th, kind of weird because, you know, obviously, I don't know, I guess maybe, you know, you're at a slower speed, but anything lower than that, it's like money. And it just has so much fucking legs. It's supposed to run.
So much.
So it's probably not the best term for it, but we'll call it legs.
So many people just have them on their bucket list, you know? And that's
hell yeah.
One of the toughest things about finding them is because a lot of them, like, they're such an aspirational car that people will buy them, not really be able to afford how to maintain them, and then you'll have, like, you know, 10 owners, this fucking guy, 10 owners, you know, on a you know, 997. I looked at one in Washington, D.C., like, I drove 3 hours to go see this thing, and it's just such a piece of shit. And, a dealer was trying to tell me how good it was, and I was like, nah, man. actually I ended up going for a PPI, and they found out a whole bunch of shit that was wrong with it.
Holy shit.
And it was just like, it's all this fuckery that, it's just tough to find a good one because they are so sought after, and like everybody wants one. And but when you get the right one that somebody's actually taken care of, that didn't get passed down like a billion hands, like it's like yes, this is great.
Oh yeah.
It's worth it. It's worth all that energy. It's worth all that time. It's worth all the,
chaos.
all the chaos, right? It's just like, it was worth it all.
Absolutely. Yeah, this little back road here is vicious. I was surprised driving through here because I don't know what it is about coming back through here. It's like I literally completely lose all memory of like how to navigate through back here, and I guess it's because it's very windy.
Yeah,
so it's
very
hard to
windy,
kind of
yeah.
predict what's going to be next unless you drive it frequently, where you can like kind of memorize it. It's definitely tricky. Oh, we definitely gotta do like a TT3 experience on the road.
Yes.
Now that it's not on like crazy
Slicks,
stupid tires for the street.
Oh man, yeah, it took me like 15 minutes to take out all the stones that had collected and planted themselves in the
Yep.
slicks. Yeah.
In the slicks and all the suspension parts. Did you notice there's like literally pebbles all over the place?
Oh yeah, the
Never.
radiators. I took my hand and I just pulled out everything. Like,
Yep.
I had rubber, I had stones,
Yep.
pebbles. Yeah.
Even that's how I was like, man, when I was looking under it, I was like, yep, these tires get sticky because they pick up everything.
There's a lot of tread still left on them now.
Yeah,
they're in good shape.
They have a ton of life left.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever
Excited.
drove them last really didn't pressure them too much, and you could tell it really didn't drive many miles on it.
Yeah, I don't want to hit any furry creatures.
Oh yeah, that lip, a goner, literally a goner. I'll be picking him out of the bottom of the car. Yeah, could you believe he hung on all the way to my house?
Man, shifting feels really good. I don't know what it is. I really feel like it's different. It sounds like I'm saying it a lot, but it's because I'm.
Well, it's I mean, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that has changed. Good bit of stuff that has changed.
Yeah, I
Definitely
think-
the mounts making the actual whole, because the engine dangles with a cradle in the front and a little tiny cradle looking thing in the rear where the transmission would be. So it definitely stiffens up that actual whole kind of bit of free play, which is a good thing, because the factory mounts weren't beat, but dude, they're super soft.
They just allowed for a lot of movement.
A little bit of bubble gum in there.
So smooth too, the power line, like everything's just so good.
It's like Silent Hill Road. Good driving footage road though.
Yeah, that was great. That was perfect.
Sadly, it's a bit dark, but it's like trying to kind of predict. I don't know. Like it's like giving point is very tricky. It's like really, really tricky because it doesn't feel like it wants to give, but you know, somewhere there's a lot of give. There's a whole lot of give, and not much saving.
Honestly, I can't get over how good the shifting feels, man. It's like the mounts. I feel like they made it. It's subtle, but it's like it's so worth it. Like for how much the mounts are, it's like $300.
Yeah, oh
It's such a man. It's just like do it. The guy was right. The Car Fanatic guy, because he did it and he was like, man, this is like the best mod you can do per dollar. And I think he's so true. That's so true.
Yeah, because I don't remember what it felt like.
It wasn't like it was sloppy, but man, this is great. This is so good. You don't want to sell it back, do you?
Maybe. Nah, I'm gonna go to the grave with this one.
Nah, it's a sweet, man. I'm so happy for you, dude. So happy.
And it's rare, actually, believe it or not. Which hopefully we can make more videos, and you can actually never hear me say that it's going to the grave with me, because you will very, very soonly realize, the people who watch this video, not many things that'll go to the grave with me, but this one definitely will. This one it's all the right things.